Hey guys, so a lot of you have been telling me I'm in a career rut, this sucks, this isn't what I want. So I thought I would hop on here and we would together pull you out of that rut right now on this video. So before we do that, in case you're new here, I'm Dahlia and I help unfulfilled professionals to get themselves out of monotonous or boring, unfulfilling jobs and get themselves into work that they absolutely love, that makes them excited to get out of bed in the morning and that also pays them lots of money. So we're gonna hop on. First of all, I want you to let me know below, how long have you been in your particular rut? If you're really honest, don't give me, oh, just like a couple of months, because before that I was focused on this or that. No, honestly, how long has it been since you've been in your rut? Let us know below. That is the first step. And then I want you to, as we go along, comment the answers to the questions that I'm going to ask you. So the thing with ruts, just really quickly, is that they can turn, I mentioned this before, but in case you haven't seen the other videos, they can easily turn into months and years and even decades. So you need a process to get yourself out of a rut. If you don't have a process, they can stretch, and maybe you do something a little bit better one day. Oh, I'm feeling a little bit better. You might do something here and there to make your rut feel like it's not as bad, but you really need a process to get yourself out of there if you want to be the kind of person who's a really successful professional, because successful people don't get themselves into ruts. I can tell you that. I'm not saying they don't have bad days. I'm not saying they don't have difficult periods, but the difference with them is that they know how to get themselves out of them and they refuse to stay in ruts. If they start having one day that feels a little bit like, a little bit down, 2 days, no. The next day they're out of there. And I know for some of you, if you've been in a rut for a long time, that sounds kind of crazy. You might be in your rut for weeks at a time, months at a time. But when you really make the shift into the kind of shifts that my clients are making, where they're positioning themselves as industry leaders, they're getting jobs they love, even one day being in a rut is like limit. You don't want to have a pattern of being in a rut. It should be something that you have the skill set to get you out of. So we're going to walk through a couple of concrete steps that you can do right now to start getting yourself out of there. So the first step is to just identify where you are in your life right now. That's why I just asked you, honestly speaking, how long has it been that you've been in this rut? And let us know below. I don't know if you have time to write your whole life story, but put as much detail as you have time for right now. Just write down, like, what is your situation, why, and how long has it been? What is basically causing your rut, as far as Is it the job that you're in, that it's just been too long that you're there? Is it that you're confused about your direction? Is it that you don't really know, but you just know that you're not as happy as you used to be? You're not feeling excited, you're feeling drained by the end of the day? Whatever it is, let us know below, okay? So identify where you are in your life right now. Goes without saying, in a very honest way. If you're not honest answering these questions and you try to sugarcoat it, you will never get yourself out of your rut, because that is what people in ruts do. They try to pretend it's not that bad. And they're like, yeah, it kind of sucks, but it could be worse. And they stay where they are. So the best thing you can do is just be really, really honest. Be like, yep, this is the situation. This is what I'm changing. And once it's out on the table, then you're gonna be in a good position to do something about it. So the next part is to start a bit of self-analysis and ask yourself the question, what is holding you back? Like, what is really holding you back in life? And that could be different things. So think about it. Is it a mental blockage? Do you feel like there's some kind of a limiting belief, some kind of a story that you're telling yourself? Like, oh, the thing that I want isn't realistic. I have a client I'm working with now. He was trying to figure out his life purpose and he was so confused, and he's such a bright guy and he's so creative and he's so amazing. But the thing that he really wanted to do for him was like not realistic. And so he was trying to do all these other things because the thing that he really wanted seemed like a pipe dream. And so as we started, but he didn't even realize this. And then as we started working together, he realized what it is that he's really called to do. And he realized that's his mission. And now he's like totally out of his rut. And before he was procrastinating, he was like not being that motivated and all this kind of stuff. And it's not because he's a procrastinator. It's not because he's an unmotivated person. It's not because of any of those things. It's just because he had a mental block where the thing he really wanted to do, he was denying it to himself because he was telling himself it wasn't realistic. So do you have any kind of mental blocks that might be stopping you? And then the next thing is, do you have any physical blockages? Like, environment is a really, really important thing. Someone who's very talented, but in the wrong environment is not going to outbeat the person who's less talented or less intelligent that has a great environment. Now and this has been big for me, because I used to think that I am an island. I don't need anyone or anything. I can, I used to always live in these places. I was always trying to save money. So I used to live in places that were falling apart, basically, not the nicest places. And I thought, well, I want to save money. Like, I don't need to be extravagant, and who cares about environment? And now I realize, no, like the place you live, where your surroundings, whether it's noisy, whether it's quiet, and obviously, most importantly, more than anything else, the people around you. Like, who are you surrounding yourself with? If you surround yourself with other people who are also in ruts, or other people who are also confused about their life direction, guess what? It's going to be really, really hard for you to figure out yours, because it's going to become really normalized to be in a rut and to be confused. And when you're like, I want to get my life together and I want to figure this out, people are going to go, yeah, but it's not a big deal. What are you so worried about? Like, figure itself out. Or that's how work is. You get a job, you pay the bills. Like, what more do you want out of life, right? So you really want to make sure that you are surrounded by people who are extremely successful, more successful than you. Hopefully they're higher earners than you are. Hopefully they're more lit up than you are, more energetic, they're on fire. Do not surround yourself with anyone who's like a little bit below you. You know what I mean? I'm not saying people are above or below each other, but just in terms of energy, just in terms of the kind of things that you want to achieve, make sure you're surrounded by the right people. That's really, really important. And then the next thing is, and this is a good one. Think about, are there any patterns in your life that tend to repeat themselves over and over? Again, a really simple question, but you wouldn't believe how many people are actually repeating patterns. And unless you think about this really seriously and analyze your patterns, you just keep doing the same stuff. We all do. We all keep doing the same things over and over and over again until you just see what's going on. And you're like, oh, I don't need to repeat that pattern all over again. I can stop that. And this has happened a lot with some of the people I work with. We do some exercises together to look at, to really identify those patterns and then break through them. And I've had so many people who realize, oh, this is why I've had a lack of confidence this whole time, or, oh, this is why I've been afraid to ask for a pay raise this whole time. I'm done with that. And then they're able to break those patterns. So another pattern I see is an indecision pattern. Like, some people think they just have big choices to make and they just need time to make choices. Actually, they just have a pattern of indecision, and they've been telling themselves that they take a long time to make decisions, and they don't know what to do, or a pattern of I don't know. And oftentimes it's just a pattern, and it's going to take a new decision to say, I am no longer a person of I don't know. I am no longer an indecisive person. From now on, I'm going to start a new pattern where I make decisions as much as possible on the spot, and I keep myself moving. So those are just a couple of examples of patterns, but I want you to let us know below, like, what is a pattern that you can think of? Even if you're not sure it's a pattern, like, if there was a pattern that might be holding you back, what could that be? And then finally, you need to take action. So important after this is, once you've discovered what your blocks are, you have to do something different. You have to decide, okay, right now, here's the one thing I'm going to do to get myself out of this rut. You might not be 100% sure if that action is actually going to lead anywhere or not, but momentum is your friend, especially when you're in a rut. Anything you can do to gain momentum is so, so, so valuable. I can't tell you how many people have told me, I don't know if I need help. I don't know if I need coaching. I think I know what to do. I'm just not doing it, etc., etc. You need momentum, my friend. You need to start taking decisions. You need to start doing things which give you that, wind under your wings, and you need to do all of these little things get your environment in check, get the right people around yourself, get as much support as you possibly can to build up that momentum. Because a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't understand why I keep falling back in life. Well, where's the momentum? What are you doing to build that kind of energy up? And a lot of people, they take one step forward and they take 2 steps back. You know, they do one little thing for themselves, one little thing for their career, and then the very next moment it's, oh, but I don't know. Oh, maybe I'm moving too fast. Maybe I need to pull back a bit and think and whatever. And the momentum's gone. And then you actually go back even further. So as soon as you do something like this, like even after this video, now that you've done a little bit of reflecting, what is that one thing that you can do right now that's going to build that momentum and also commit to continuing that momentum versus just then sabotaging yourself? And if you guys need help with this, like if you've been stuck in a career rut, what are you waiting for? Send me a message. I'll see if I can help you. I've helped a lot of people out of career ruts. A lot of them felt like, oh, maybe I just need to read one more Google article or just apply for one more job and maybe it'll all solve itself, or maybe it's not that bad. Like they all had the same, the same kind of fears of, do I really need a career coach? I'm a pretty successful person already. But then like Laura, for example, she was like, am I crazy? Like, do I need help with this, with my career? I'm a pretty resourceful and successful person. And she realized because she was successful, that's why she needed help, and she needed someone who was going to boost that momentum and just boost her into her new direction. And now she has a brand new career that she likes a lot more. Like all of her crazy dreams have come true in a new job. She got her direction, but as amazing as she was, it wouldn't have happened if she hadn't asked for support in doing that. So if you guys need help, send me a message. I don't know if I can help you, but I'll try my best. I'll see if I can. Even if I can't, I'll still figure out what is the best resource, what is the best thing that you can do right now so you can get yourself out of the rut, because that is absolutely no way to live, and no rut should last for more than like a day. And I'm not exaggerating. Ruts, you should not be in a rut at all, ever. So reach out to me if you need help with that, and I'll see what I can do. And let me know if you had any insights after this exercise. I want to hear all about it. Okay, guys, talk to you soon.